I know I'm not unique in dealing with procrastination, as a lot of people do, and I am one of those people who says that I do my best work when I'm procrastinating. Now, there might be some truth to that.
Say hi, Sky. I hope you're doing well, huh? Just been kind of lounging.
Prudence. I think there's a difference between procrastinating and hesitating. And let me tell you a story about. See, I don't really know how I want to tell this story, and I am hesitating on even telling it.
So it was one Friday morning. My wife wanted to go into work early to get some stuff done, get caught up on work. So our youngest kids tend to get up really early, so I'm up with them, taking care of them, and I get a call from my wife, and she says, "Hey, I'm stuck." "What do you mean you're stuck?" "It's been warm the last few days. It was like 40 degrees, which is warm in the wintertime. And looked outside, and sure enough, our Camry stuck at the end of the driveway. Wonder how that happened. So, I've been pretty good about snow removal this winter. It was my first winter actually I had to do snow removal. Either I've lived with somebody who's done it, or I've lived in an apartment, or rented from somebody who took care of it as a service. And so, I've been on top of it most of the time, but not always, because it snows at different parts of the day, and if I gotta go to work, or I'm tired, or I just don't want to, then it's hard to stay disciplined to keep doing it. Went most of the winter before a little hump started to form at the bottom of the driveway. But when it warms up, it's easier to get rid of snow. You can get caught up then, but you have to actually do that. See, we had like 4 or 5 days, I think, when it was great weather, and I keep thinking I should really do this, and I just, put it off. And now it's come back to bite us. So, my wife's backing up, and the snow becomes soft. The small Camry sunk right into that snow, and that thing was stuck. I chopped away at it using a snow shovel, used even just like normal like shovel you'd use for scooping dog poop. I don't know what it's actually called, a garden shovel. I don't know. Anyways, I'm working away at it, can't do it, and she went from going in early to she was going to be late. So we had to call a tow truck, which a few weeks ago I finished a shift at the radio station in the evening, and it was low visibility coming home. I could not make it up the hill, so I had to take a different route. And with low visibility, I was late to my turn. I went into the snowbank. So this car had recently been pulled out of the snowbank. Now it was sitting at the end of the driveway, like in completely different weather. And we had to call a tow truck again. So, tow truck comes, pulls her out, she makes it to work just fine, and we're gonna be fine. Oh, and I just actually wanted to add that after we finally give up and we're frustrated and we're going to call the tow truck, I start trying to walk back inside to be with, I think I had my oldest one looking after the others. And I'm just out there, it's because it's warm. I'm out there in a long sleeve t-shirt, and I'm just like hustling up the driveway, and even though it's wet and whatnot, it's still slippery on the ice underneath. I belly flopped on the driveway, and my shirt was soaked, and my pride and ego were bruised, and I went inside for the day, and I just didn't deal with
Well, I did it. The snowblower worked the whole time, but that's nice. But I fell right about here, and we got stuck right there. We had to get a plow truck to get us out. All because I struggled to, well, I would say I hesitated on taking care of it. But now that we're done with that, well, I suppose I should shovel. Not done.
Hey, kitty. Can I sit by you? Can I sit by you? Hey. Stretch. So the way I think about it is like this. You're always going to hesitate for some reason, whether you don't want to do it or you're afraid of doing it, or whatever reason we have to justify not doing the thing right away. I feel like there's always going to be that moment. Procrastination, I feel like, is a step back from hesitation. You know what? I think I got a visual in here from my childhood that I can express to you real quickly. I used to go to my grandma and grandpa's camp every Sunday, and they lived on the lake, and they had a dock that I jump off of. I mean, it was shallow water, but I was a kid, and I would jump in from the dock. And when you're gonna make that plunge into water, maybe you just think of jumping into a pool, there's always going to be an initial shock and it's going to be cold. No matter what the temperature of the water is. Hesitation is when you're on the edge about to do it. Procrastination, I think, is taking a step back and be like, oh, I'm not going to do it yet. And that's where the difference lies with the story of snow blowing or putting it off. I didn't hesitate, but rather procrastinated from it. And I think whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whether if you want to be a vlogger or you have some endeavor that you want to undertake, there's always going to be that moment of hesitation before you take the first step. And procrastination is prolonging the hesitation. That's the difference there. So I'm thinking about the way that I'm going to use this personally, and with next week's video, because I put off the hesitation of starting my videos till so late in the week, I'm going to kind of utilize a strategy I used with going back to jumping in the lake. I found the way that I could get myself in there normally is if I was just talking. I would start moving my legs. I could tell myself to do that, and then immediately distract myself and start talking to somebody or do this. And a lot of times I'd end up walking off the dock or then jumping, and suddenly it's like not really, you're just plunging. And then normally it's when you're falling through the air, it's like, am I actually doing this? But there's no turning back. Well, I think, for one of my biggest criticisms for myself in my vlogs so far and my videos on my other channel is not having enough footage, whether B-roll or different camera angles. And I think starting on Monday, when this video uploads, I'm going to start shooting video to be used all throughout the week. That's practically how I'm going to apply it. Now, when it comes to what I'm going to talk about, I'll have to be thinking that throughout the week and maybe come up with a script or something. I'm still working on that, but for myself, I know that I need to deal with that hesitation so much sooner and break through that. Even if it's just for a moment, it is a split-second decision. If you get to the point where you've been doing it for so long, I feel it, if whatever it is that you're talking about, when you get to the point where you're comfortable doing it, the hesitation, I feel like it's a little like barrier, a little membrane you might pass when it's like, okay, we're doing this. And it might even be a split second. This is what we're doing. That's kind of the way that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, I hope that helps.